Hello there, I'm going back and catching up on a bunch of Star Wars comics. I just did a review on the 4-part miniseries of Darth Maul, Black, White and Red, which I really enjoyed. You can go watch that now if you'd like. And next up is another miniseries, Jango Fett. This is also a 4-part limited series, but unlike the Maul one, which felt like sort of 4 one-shots grouped together, this one does tell a singular story over 4 issues. Now obviously the series follows Jango Fett around the year 33 BBY, which is 1 year before the events of the Phantom Menace. Jango Fett is hired to track down a thief that has stolen a priceless artifact that essentially was serving as a peace offering between the Nautilans and the Anselmi, the 2 species of the planet Glee Anselm who are on the brink of civil war. Now as Jango investigates the theft, however, he gets more than he bargained for and runs across other bounty hunters and goes head to head with people like Aurra Sing. Now Aurra Sing is one of those characters, whenever she pops up, I just enjoy it every time. I always have a blast. I'm like Leonardo DiCaprio in that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood scene. Every time I watch The Phantom Menace and she's on screen for like 2 seconds. Long story short, I'm always glad to see Aurra Sing in some canon material. The Solo movie did you dirty, girl. Now the series is written by Ethan Sachs, who also wrote the Allegiance miniseries, which was part of the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker, which I actually recommend reading. It's not fantastic or groundbreaker or anything, but it does make the Rise of Skywalker a little bit more palatable, and it's a fun little mini-series, and it does introduce us to our Mon Calamari replacement for Admiral Akbar, his son, Aftab Akbar. Honestly, give it a read, it's actually pretty fun. Now Sachs also wrote the Bounty Hunters series, which finished up this year after 42 issues. I highly recommend this series. I think it is an absolute blast from start to finish. I do need to do a video on it one day, but if you like the Bounty Hunter characters in Star Wars, this is the series you want. It is pretty damn fun. As is this miniseries, actually. I ended up really enjoying it. While the story is fairly simple, I really like reading and seeing Jango Fett just be fucking cool as he goes around tracking down leads and taking out people left, right and center. Same with Aurra Sing. I think they really captured the space western vibe pretty well in some of these issues. I enjoy that they went to some familiar planets that we know, like Daiyu, which appears in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And I actually really liked the art by Luke Ross. I don't super love it when comics do the thing. I'm not a comics person, I'm sorry, I don't really know the technical term for this, I don't know the comic book terminology, but when the background of the panel is just a single colour, I don't love it when books do that. I understand why they do it, but I don't particularly love it, and I do think that this series maybe does that a few too many times. Not a massive issue, but just one of those personal pet peeves of mine. I really love the way that Jango's dialogue is written in this series, because in my head I can hear it perfectly as Tamura Morrison. Like you just hear his voice whenever he's speaking, and it just sounds exactly how he would speak in Attack of the Clones. It has that same cadence to it. I love how well they wrote the lines. I think they really nailed how he speaks. I especially loved the onomatopoeia as well of when he's shooting his blasters, the Westar 34s, and they just have choo rather than like, you know, pew or pow or whatever with the guns, because it really is just the perfect word for the sounds that those blasters make. I don't really want to talk too much more about the actual story or spoiler or anything, because it's honestly just a really fun ride. End of the day, I really enjoyed this comic run. I liked the art. I do think maybe sometimes Jango looks a little bit stiff in the panel. Maybe could have loosened up a little bit, but Jango Fett was an absolute badass, as was Aurra Sing. I like seeing these 2 characters more and more, and I hope we see them more in the future. There's some nice little nuggets of lore and story connections to the greater saga towards the end of this without spoiling it. Ethan Sachs says that if this series does well, we can possibly get more Jango Fett in the future, and I really hope it does well, or it did do well, because it's a couple months old at this point, because I honestly think they nailed it with this little run. I would love to read more of this story from this team. An ongoing Jango Fett comic would be very nice in my opinion. So yeah, I absolutely recommend checking this one out. I think it's a lot of fun. It's only 4 issues, very quick read. I need to get a Jango Fett for the shelf. I saw one at a convention a few years back, but they were selling him for like $120, and as much as I wanted him, I just really couldn't pull the trigger on it because that was just too much. I do have like 3 Boba Fetts down there. Well, I think one of them is a knockoff, but yeah, I need to get a Jango. Anyway, thank you for watching. This one was a little bit all over the place, I apologise for that. But yeah, check the comic out, Jango Fett. Thank you for watching. If you like this, you like talking about Star Wars, make sure you follow me here and over on TikTok. Thank you for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.